What is up, everybody? Trey's here yet again for an update video, and the big update is new bike. So in September of 2021, depending on when you watch this video, I was cruising just around Miami and was not actually shopping for a bike. I just happened to be cruising around, and as I was doing my thing, I ended up stopping at a dealership to, just do what I usually do and just go, stop and take a look at bikes, because that's what I do when I have nothing else to do. And happened to stumble upon this, and I actually thought this was part of a museum piece that they had set up at the dealership, because it looked like they had a whole bunch of different Fireblades, or CBR1000RR SPs, or just CBR1000, excuse me, that were on display. And I didn't realize it was actually for sale. And then they told me the price, and it was a price that I could not ignore. So I decided to just, see what they'd offer me on my old bike. That's a nice Porsche. See what they'd offer me on my old bike, and they gave me a number that worked. The price is perfect, and long story short, here we are. So this is a 2018 CBR1000RR SP edition. Bought it with about 8,500 or so miles, and hold on, about 500 or so, 8,500. I think it was like 8,650 miles, 53 miles. And yeah, it's been a hell of a bike. When this bike first came out, I wanted this bike. I thought this bike was absolutely beautiful in terms of its design, but just wasn't in the cards at the time. I was kind of transitioning a little bit in terms of my work and life, and it was just an expense that I couldn't afford. These things were selling for $20,000 brand new. I wasn't ready to spend 20 grand on a bike at the time. So it actually drove me to my 2016 CBR1000RR, the matte black metallic bike that I had, which I had in all of one video. But if you guys follow me on Instagram, you'll definitely see some pictures of the bike there. So this bike it's absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. I was not expecting such a difference, and you definitely feel the lighter weight on this bike. Most certainly. The way this bike handles, like when I bought it the first day, I didn't ride it. I had to wait and pick it up. So from that point, I hadn't touched the bike for a couple days, and immediately on the first go around, the first turn even that I took on this bike, you immediately could feel the difference. It was just much lighter. And I'm sure some of that is attributed to the suspension as well. But yeah, this bike is, in terms of its handling capabilities, leaps and bounds higher than what my old bike used to be. And it's definitely smaller. If you're a tall guy like me, I'm just a smidge under 6 feet. I'm like 5'11" and 3/4. This bike is, the fairings are slimmer all around. I had a Mark 1 windscreen on my 2016. This bike actually came with the same windscreen, but it was almost unrideable for me because the wind blast that I was getting out of this bike, it was insane. Like, it felt like it was trying to rip my arms off. So if you're tall, 6 feet or higher, you definitely need to get a double bubble. Anything else is just not going to cut it, because all of this here is way thinner. But noticeable difference in power as well. Huge difference in power on this bike. Hold on. It's only 10 more horsepower per the spec sheet, but everywhere there's just more power. And this bike is stock. It's not flashed. And when I bought it, actually, it came with a different exhaust than what I currently have on it. I had a short Akrapovic exhaust on it. I've since replaced that with a long Akrapovic street pipe on there. A couple reasons to do that. The issue being, I want to start moving here a little bit, and I'll talk to you guys. When I picked it up, I had the shorter Krapovich exhaust on this bike, and I decided I wanted to replace that with the long Krapovich exhaust. A couple reasons behind that. Mainly, the first reason really being that I just found as great as the other pipe sounded when I was moving, it just was too much. It was too much after a while. It droned a lot. So when you know, after a long ride, it's just the frequency that I was hitting. You know, after a while, it just starts reverberating inside my head, my helmet, and it was just annoying me. So I'd like to make that maybe like a track pipe. I didn't sell the old pipe. I still have it because it really does sound incredible, like when you're on it. This pipe noticeably lower in volume than the other pipe, but it sounds a lot more like the Yash pipe that I had on my old 2016. It's a nice clean tone, nothing crazy. I kind of do miss a little bit of the noise, but the other reason for switching it out, not necessarily just the noise, but really more so because of the power delivery. The short pipe was really so much traffic here. Hold on. Short pipe was really a lot of flat spots in the rev range, and I know that this bike has another issue with electronic throttle valve tables and the stock trim, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, but you could just tell that it was really struggling for air. And if you looked at the pipe, the short pipe, you could definitely see that it was running lean, really lean. So that was another big reason why I wanted to switch it out, because I knew I was losing power everywhere. And that short pipe definitely, while it sounds great, you have to flash it. You have to flash the bike rather, in order for it to run the way it needs to run. This is getting brutal. Oh, being stuck in traffic sucks, especially in South Florida when there's not even good roads. Let's go this way. Wow, there's a lot of traffic here. You know what, fuck it, let's go northbound. So, yeah, the pipes, I still have both of them, like I said, and I do intend at some point to use it for track riding. But again, talking about the differences between the two bikes, if you're on the fence about the old style bikes, mainly the 2008 to 2016 models versus this model, there's no competition. This bike just blows the other one away in so many ways. Now again, the old bike I had the Showa suspension. This one has the adaptive Öhlins. And in case you're wondering why my ABS is blinking, long story, but I kind of broke my ABS system during a tire change. Honestly, no big deal for me because I just did not, you know, all my bikes have been analog bikes. This is the first bike I ever had that had electronics to it. So, you know, I know how to ride a bike without ABS, and I really don't care. But I want to get this fixed because I can't stand that stupid light blinking, and sometimes the suspension doesn't know what to do, and it throws a suspension code, which is annoying. But, you know, it's just the world of electronics. Heads up, that looks nice. You gotta watch out when you're on these highways down here. But, yeah, you know, this bike, the SC77, that's what this bike is. I have not ridden the SC82, which is the current model, the 2020 and up. I can only imagine what an absolute animal that bike would be. But at the same time, you know, I never really cared about having all-out horsepower. Again, as long as I feel that I'm getting everything I can get out of the bike, I'm fine with it. This bike, I know I can get more out of it, so I will flash it. Again, it's never going to be as powerful as a brand new CBR. It's just not going to happen. But it's still such a great bike, and I really cannot wait to take this thing out to Tail the Dragon up in Carolina. What do we got? Nice, very nice. I love all those new Triumphs that are coming out. It's such a great machine. I'm a sport bike guy, but I can definitely appreciate, you know, the cafe style bikes that are out there. But yeah, this bike is absolutely fantastic. The suspension modes definitely do make a difference when you're on certain shitty roads. 95 always seems to be littered with construction, so I'm doing, you know, automatic suspension 3. I tried playing with the manual modes, but I really do feel that the automatic suspension definitely does make a difference. Let me get on this lane here. There's a lot going on. Oh yeah, that quick shifter, by the way, is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. It's just, you know, I never had a quick shifter on a bike. I've ridden a Daytona 675 that had a quick shifter, and you know, I mean, it was great to have it there, but living with this day to day now, you don't realize how great it is to actually have a quick shifter. And up and downs are very nice, and yeah, I mean, it's it's a hell of a bike, man. You know, Honda does know how to make great products. I will admit, you know, with all the electronics I have, there's a learning curve with some of this stuff. Oh my god, this blows. Yeah, a real learning curve with the electronics if you've never had a bike with electronics before. Like in my case, you know, I had my first bike in 2012 was a 2013 Ninja 300. They just released it. Then I got a leftover 2013 CBR1000RR in October of 14, and then picked up my 2016 CBR1000RR in 18. It was also a leftover model, believe it or not. Hell of a price I paid for that. And then this one. This is actually my first used bike, and you know, when I thought about getting a new bike, I told myself I was going to buy used. There was no reason to buy new anymore. I'm reevaluating that idea, because I picked this bike up and there were some issues with it. Issues mainly because of inept mechanics who clearly did not pay attention to anything on torque specs. Didn't even, put it this way, this bike was overfilled in oil by at least 1.5 quarts. I don't even know how this bike was running. You know, my brake calipers were tightened like crazy. It was just obvious that it wasn't properly cared for, and it was when the salesman sold it to me, they said the dealer serviced it its entire life. And you know, that's that's why I work on my bikes myself, because I just don't trust anybody to do the work right. And this bike had some issues, nothing really bad, but you know, stuff that just shouldn't have been the way it was if you're in the least bit competent. So you know, make it a point to learn how to work on your own bikes, guys, because it makes a difference. Anyway, that's really it. This traffic kind of sucks, so I'm just going to cut the video here, but hope everybody's doing well. And you know, if you guys have any questions on the bike or anything you'd like to see on the bike, please, you know, drop it in the comments. Let me know. I'm going to get off this road. Actually, this is annoying. I could lane split, but I just really don't feel like it, especially when I'm, you know, vlogging. But anyway, take care, guys. Hope you're all good and be safe out there. See you later.